All right, Cory, thanks a lot, man, for taking the time to have this conversation with me today. So for the person watching this video, if you could just kind of share your name, where you farm at, and what your farm looks like.
My name is Cory Voss. We farm, my dad and my brother have the majority of the farm ground. I help with the seed side of things. We sell Pioneer seed. We live at Bruning, Nebraska, which is kind of the southeast corner of the state. And we've got cows to go with it. And then I've got a couple of side hustles that I do as well.
Okay, perfect. And then got a family at home too, right?
Yes, correct. I got a wife and two little ones. My oldest is 4 and the youngest is about 10 months now.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Well, so you haven't been in, I mean, you've been a legacy farmer for a little bit now, but the first question I'm going to ask you though, is what was really not working in life? And this is personal or business. Okay. What was not working in life prior to joining legacy farmer?
My home life was all right. Like we were getting along. We were making do between me and the wife, and, you know, we were getting stuff done. Probably the thing that was becoming the most stressful is I was trying to work myself into a good position. I wasn't trying to legitimately think about like how to move forward or where to go. It was just, if I could get the day-to-day tasks done, if I could get the little things done and just keep myself busy, then that meant I was headed in the right direction. And every time I did that, that just took my mind off of everything else that was going on. So if you kept yourself busy with little meaningless tasks, then the world was spinning and it was okay. And the things that weren't really working was just the simple fact that business wise, I really wasn't growing. I wasn't doing anything. I was getting my same salary. That wasn't changing. And my side hustles, I was kind of letting them, I was making them work, but I really wasn't just making them go. I was doing them for a check mark.
Yeah, 100%. Well, so do you have a difficult time though, kind of balancing the family life and work life though?
Oh yeah, it's terrible most days.
Yeah, 100%. And that's why I asked that, because it's going to be true for anybody watching this video and all of our other members, as you know. Right. So what was the biggest thing that changed for Cory once you joined? Because it was a decision for you. You guys had to talk about it. You had to think about it. Like, what were the big things that changed for you once you joined?
Probably the biggest thing so far, like, and for anybody that hasn't joined, they won't really understand the pit, but the pit, once you understand like what it is like to be at the bottom, you just really finally realize like everything you were maybe doing to try and stay out of that pit. And I mean, for anybody else that's been watching, I've been struggling with the pit, and you've been seeing through some of the stacks, like you just get to the bottom and you don't even know where to go. And by having the stacks and some of that, like it's not a quick fix, it's not an overnight fix, but it at least helps push you in the right direction to at least figure out what the heck you got going on in your head.
Yeah. How many farmers or ranchers across the U.S. right now do you think are in the pit, or in this place where they don't have any idea what to do?
I'd say probably 75 to 80% of them.
Yeah. That's just the reality too, man. And that's just, it's the sad reality, but nobody's talking about it. Nobody's doing anything about it. And that's why I created Legacy Farmer in the first place. Yep. Okay, perfect, man. So what are the biggest things you've noticed change between you and Sam?
I've noticed that like our relationship is getting better. Like before we kind of figured out that I was always putting myself in like a victim mode. Like anytime that we had a problem, I'd just take it on my shoulders that it was something I was doing or something I'd screwed up. And then I'd always take it upon myself that it was something I needed to fix with myself, when in all reality, it had nothing to do with me and more about just conversating and having those conversations rather than thinking, you know, I mean, I'd always catch myself all the time. Oh, I screwed up, or oh, I messed up, or I did this, or I did that, when really it boiled down to just asking a simple question of how was your day, or why are you feeling that way, or something like that. And since I've started Legacy Farmer, like that's helped our relationship, and where she's stacking, that helps her out too, because like we've gotten through some of our own stuff that we weren't able to kind of figure out necessarily the problems before.
Well, man, and like, you know, we don't hide it in Legacy Farmer that there's, with the challenges that we all deal with, you know, we were taught and conditioned growing up that you're supposed to keep personal life personal and your business life business, but on the farm, it's inevitable. Like that's not reality.
Yep.
100%. So do you feel like some, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, like, and that boils in when you're working with family. Like, you have significant other spouses involved, you have moms and dads involved, and you have everybody involved, and it just makes it difficult for everybody to function.
Yeah. Do you feel like Legacy Farmers provided the tools and the trainings and really the network to help you navigate not just the business challenges, but also the family challenges?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because just from the simple fact that, like, when you have a problem, you're not just trying to work it out with your spouse. Like, you have somebody else that's going through the same problems because of family issues or whatever. So if nothing else, like, if you're really having a problem, you can at least figure it out with somebody that's going through the same problem. I mean, we've tried going to like the therapist and doing some of those, and like that helps for, a few days or whatever, and it kind of helps maybe navigate a little bit of it. But when they don't really, I mean, they don't have the farming struggles. So when you can talk with other people that are going through the family struggles and all that, it just kind of gives a little more validity to what's actually going on in your life. And somebody can go, oh yeah, just dealt with that last week, or, whatever that case would be.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. Well, and that's the thing is, like, for the person watching this, I just want to, hit home with the fact a lot of people, they come into the program because we're not just focused on business, right? But we're focused on personal as well. Like, we want to have a comprehensive good business life and good personal life, right? Okay, man. So out of everything that we're doing here, out of everything that we do inside of Legacy Farmer, and there's a lot, right? But out of everything we have going on, what's Cory's favorite thing?
I think right now, like, it's a balance of a couple of different things. Like, the core 4 is good because, like, I didn't realize how out of whack I was with all of that stuff. Like, I was getting to where I was pretty good at little different things here and there, but I wasn't good at any of them. And, like, recently my workouts have been terrible, and that's just because I haven't been I finally was kind of getting the family stuff kind of on point, and then I started having conversations, and then when you start having conversations, you fall into the pit. So I've been lacking on the workout side of things, but I think that's just, it kind of keeps you in check and tells you what to do. And then the one that I probably like the most out of all of them, and it's not necessarily the Legacy Farmer, but listening to the podcast, like, when you sit down and can listen to the podcast, like you've said before, it's like you're sitting in the back seat of the pickup and you're just going, well, here's what you're going, and here's what you're thinking, and this is the process you're going through. And then you start stacking about those things because it helps unlock those stacks. And then I can't really pick just one specific one because you got to have all of them to kind of make it work.
What do you like about the coaching calls and just the network in general? Because, man, on our Wednesday coaching calls, now we're getting up to where there's 40 to 50 people on the call. What do you like about those calls?
I just like the fact that it's open. It's honest. Like, everybody can talk about the shit that's going on and have people actually understand what's going on, and skipping around all the instead of everybody trying to make everybody feel better about life, all those guys are going, well, I've been there. I know what you're going through. And then everybody's there specifically to help somebody else plus help themselves. And I think the part that's the coolest about those calls is all of those guys are there to cheer you on. They're there to help you in any way that they can, because they know that if they need some help, you're going to be there to help them and offer some advice to them as well.
Yep, 100%. Do you feel like a majority of farmers or ranchers are on an island?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I mean, I was on an island all by myself. Like you said before, like, you're supposed to keep your personal and your business separate. Excuse me. Well, you try to keep all that separate, and then it all ends up running back together anyway, because your business stuff will leak into your personal stuff if you can't handle that, and your personal stuff is damn sure going to lead into your business stuff, and you're not going to be able to keep a clear mind about it. Because I've found when I can get a legit stack in and get something off my mind, all of a sudden my mind clears up and I'm remembering things that normally I wouldn't remember.
Yep. And the thing is like, clarity is a powerful term, because a lot of guys, they make some big mistakes and big decisions because of lack of clarity in their mind, and they have all this stuff going on. They can't control the thoughts. They wake up and their mind's going 1,000 miles an hour. When you can't release any of that, like, it's inevitable that you will make terrible decision after terrible decision, costing you hundreds of thousands of dollars. So,
yep.
Okay, awesome, man. Well, last question for you, and it's an obvious one. Inside of the ag industry, right? It's very difficult to establish trust, and some people they've been watching the videos for a while, they've been listening to the podcast maybe, and they're still kind of wondering, okay, like is this Jace dude legit? Is Legacy Farmer legit? Is there really this network? So, what is the one thing that Cory would say to somebody that's sitting on the fence, like that they can see what we're doing here, they want to be a part of it, but they're just like they need that last push?
Well, I mean, from my standpoint, I had a hard time making the decision right up front just because, like you said, the honesty part, you're always like, well, is this going to get me where I want? Is this going to do what I want? And for the people that need the final push, they need to realize that this is a tool to help them move the needle and move them forward. But they damn sure better have the right mindset when they're coming in, that they're going to have to change some stuff and it's going to be difficult to start with. But if there's a place to get that stuff and make a change, it's in this program, because everybody within this program, they're trying to do the exact same thing you are, maybe just in a different light. It may be cows versus farming or seed versus chemical, but everybody's trying to move the needle in the same way. And I mean, I just tell anybody, now that I've done it, I'd tell them to jump. And when you jump, be ready to go feet first and know you're going straight to the pit to start with, but you're going to be coming out on the other side, and it's going to be a pretty good deal when you get there.
There's nobody else doing what we're doing, is there?
No, not even remotely close. And it's just the simple fact that there's no BS around it. There's no bullshit around any of it. It's just, here's the facts. Like, get out of your own head and just start working towards your end goal. And that was my biggest part, has just been the simple fact of getting out of your own head and moving towards the bigger goal for yourself. It's not for anybody else, it's for yourself. And so many of us have been trained within these small communities to, oh, don't say that. You might make somebody mad. You might make somebody mad. And everybody's doing it. They're just doing it a different way. Instead of telling you to your face, they're telling the neighbor 3 doors down, and then the neighbor 3 door down is telling somebody else. And then instead of the grain bin blew over and it might have fallen on 2 tractors, now it's the grain bin's fallen over, it's crushed 2 tractors, and there was 3 small children underneath the grain bin.
It's nice to have a place where it's just, the truth is the truth, no hiding. No guilt, no shame, new choices, getting clear on what's not working and what you want to do going forward, hammering out the problems, building out the strategy, and just moving forward.
Yep, that's exactly right.
All right, perfect, man. Well, Cory, I appreciate you taking the time to have this conversation, man.
You bet. Glad to do it.